Did I expect an American? Definitely not, because it was sort of common knowledge, or common understanding rather, that the Vatican did not want an American pope, simply because of the status of the United States of America being the global superpower. And in the end, they chose someone who, as he has been described, the least American among the Americans. I'm Hoda Abdel-Hamid, senior correspondent, and between us, the choice of an American pope is not just symbolism, it's a sign of the global strategy of the Vatican. I grew up in Rome, and as such, the Pope is part of your daily life. So you could be having a walk and then all of a sudden the Pope is passing by. It's quite normal when you live in this city. And then it just happened as a coincidence of life. I had the privilege of being here in St. Peter's Square each time there was a Pope passing or a conclave, Paul VI, John Paul I. And then after that, as a journalist, the passing of John Paul II, and then all the successive popes after that. I think the choice of an American pope actually came as a surprise to many, many, many people. When he appeared on the square, he spoke in several languages. Latin to do the blessing. He spoke in Italian, and then he spoke in Spanish. And he said that it was a nod to his past as an archbishop in Peru. He didn't speak in English, and that also is a big message in the sense that he didn't want to be immediately identified as the American Pope who will be there, giving an American footprint on the Vatican. So he chose that very carefully. The Pope is a spiritual leader for 1.4 billion Catholics, but he's also a head of state. He's also an absolute monarch, and he is the one who leads the church in any direction that he wants to at this specific time, taking into consideration all what's happening in the world. Now, before going into the conclave, the cardinals had issued a statement calling for peace in Ukraine and in Gaza. It's a statement that wasn't widely reported, and many of us journalists just didn't give much weight to it. But looking at it now and seeing who they selected, it should have given us an inkling of what qualities they were looking for in their new Pope. Now, an American comes at a time where, if you remember, Pope Francis had very troubled relationships with, for example, J.D. Vance, the U.S. Vice President, and Pope Leo, when he was still a cardinal. If you go on his feed on X, well, he was quite outspoken on things like the deportation of migrants. He also corrected J.D. Vance a few times. So I think it comes at a time where the Catholic Church realizes that they needed to have an American specifically who spoke another language than what's coming out of the White House, and also a man that would still represent some of the ideals or some of the thoughts of Pope Francis, and then a man who can deal with the biggest challenges of the church, which is empty churches in the West. There are many, many, many priorities. I mean, he's going to be very uncomfortable for the U.S. administration. He's going to be very uncomfortable for the current government here in Italy, the Prime Minister, Giorgia Meloni. He's going to be very uncomfortable for the rise of the far right across Europe. So certainly it's not just a leader of the flock that they had elected, but someone who can also stand firm.